Things are looking good. Let's see if we're streaming out now, and you can give me a mic check. Yeah, I pressed go, but we're only, you'll see it. Yeah. It's like in black. Not sure why. Okay, now here we are. All right, so we should be good to go. Yeah? I see myself. So, hey guys, if you already have my audio, that's great. We're just getting a quick check. All right. All right, we are good to go. Well, hello everyone, and thank you so much for joining me here on the First Alert Desk. My name is Tori Cooper. Always love having you here for this brief update that we give you. This is when we peel the curtain back on some of the stories that we've been working on, following, and trying to get some more information on for you at home as the viewer. So if you are watching us on your phone, on YouTube, wherever you are, we are so glad to have you with us. A lot of stories have been happening this weekend. It's been moving at a decent pace, not as fast as we have on other weekends, but we do have some updates on some stories that we briefly touched on the First Alert Desk on Saturday, but now we have some more information on some of those. So let's start with one of the hot topics, the big buzz around this conversation just because of its standing in the community. Blake's on the Park nightclub, and that's in Midtown, very big staple in the LGBTQ plus community. It did experience, there was a fire that broke out at the building. And we did have our Atlanta News First reporter, Chelsea Beimfor, following those developments to try to get some more information. So we also spoke to a lot of people in Midtown just to really give you the sense of how much this matters to this part of our community. And I've had the best time at Blake's. So I was devastated when I heard about this, but there is a silver lining here. It does look like they are going to be able to repair the building. So I'll let Chelsea Beimfor pick it up from here.
Shocked, actually. We walked by earlier and we saw it closed and we're like, Blake's closed? Why?
Tonight, Blake's on the Park is closed after an early morning fire burned in the back of the building just ahead of Memorial Day weekend.
Lots of people coming into town. I'm sure a lot of them were coming to Midtown looking forward to going here, and so I'm sure they're a little bit disappointed.
Blake's is never closed, ever. And to see the doors, I was just like, wow, this is kind of like upsetting.
Atlanta Fire and Rescue crews responded to the bar on 10th Street around 6 a.m. Saturday.
When we got here again, it was heavy smoke coming from the backside. If anybody's ever been into the building, they know there's two sections of the club. There's a lower level and bar that sits at the very entrance off of 10th Street, and there's a backside that you can come in on the Piedmont side.
Firefighters put out the flames quickly and say no one was hurt, but there is smoke damage inside.
There's a lot of people that live in the neighborhood, and all the neighbors were calling us.
Blake's manager Rod Laneza calls the fire minor and says this will not be a total loss for the business, but firefighters are still investigating what caused the blaze.
So I think it was just some kind of mishap inside. It was, I don't think it was arson or anybody set the place on fire, no.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that at all, and kind of disappointed because, who knows how long it's going to be closed now, and it really is like a staple for the community.
So the good news, at least at this time, investigators are not saying that this is arson. As standard protocol, the arson investigators always come out and assess the situation, but at least right now, they do not believe that this was intentional. They believe this was an accident. So if anything changes, of course, we'll update you, but hopefully they can still operate while getting their building fixed, the other parts. That would be the best case scenario. But we will continue to follow up on that. This is definitely, as you heard, this is the first time this place is ever closed. It's always open. It's been such a safe haven for so many people in the community, not just the LGBTQ plus community, but everyone knows that Blake's is a safe haven for fun, love, and just a great time. So we will keep you updated on the status of Blake's right here on the First Alert Desk. And let's move along to some of the other stories that we're following tonight. So this is a story that our Atlanta News First reporter, Bridget Spencer, has just been doing an excellent job with her reporting lately. She's been uncovering a lot of great stories and stuff that not everybody's really paying attention to. And this was another situation just like that. A man who went missing in Guatemala actually was just located. So let me see if I can bring this up. Yes, okay, right here. So his name is, he's 26 years old. His name is Zane Waliani, and he was hiking a volcano in Guatemala. He's from Fairburn, and he got lost. So I'm going to let Bridget Spencer pick it up from here and share with you where this is at right now.
I'm just elated. I'm just really, really happy that I'm going to get to see my brother soon.
Zane Waliani disappeared after splitting up with a friend during a Tuesday hike in Guatemala on the Acatenango volcano. His family and volunteers have been desperately searching for him ever since. That is, until now.
I know he dislocated his shoulder. I know he fell. I know he still has to get checked for a lot of internal stuff. But, from the outside perspective, he looks good.
He was spotted on a different side of the inactive volcano after a collaborative and relentless search effort.
I was like, he's not on this volcano. Unless he's crawled into a cave, he's not up here. I think he's walked down.
Chris Sharp is with Black Wolf Helicopters. He was in the air looking for Zane.
We're on oxygen. It's like we're so high. I would not do that risk if I didn't believe he was alive. I was confident he was alive.
Zane was flown back into the nearest city and is now being treated at the hospital as he was severely dehydrated, but his family right now is just thankful that he's alive.
He's been trying to get water from the trees and stuff. And he literally told me he learned a lot on his own in trying to survive. So I'm just really proud of him.
Bridget Spencer, Atlanta, News First.
So just absolutely great news that he was found, he was located, just a little dehydrated. He has some courage to go hiking a volcano, and that is something that will definitely show you a lot about yourself and your resiliency. So I'm just glad that he's okay. And also a great reminder, if you're thinking about going hiking, keep it local. Keep it local. Okay, let's move along. This is a story that we actually anticipated getting yesterday, but as you know, anytime grieving is involved, things don't always go as planned, and it's such a sudden, fast situation that you have to kind of adapt sometimes because you want to make sure that your family members can all be there as part of this moment, and that's exactly what happened yesterday with Briana Winston, a 23-year-old woman who, unfortunately, police believe was murdered. There is a homicide investigation underway right now, and this comes after she went missing, and then police later told us that they discovered some evidence that they believe at this point in time points to her late boyfriend, who is still alive. He's currently in custody. Mikhail Edwards is his name. He's accused of strangling her, putting her in a suitcase, driving her body to a small city in Tennessee, and from there, police say that there was an accomplice that assisted in burning her body, allegedly. So that's what the investigation says right now. But her family members are holding a vigil tonight, and we do have our Atlanta News First reporter, Bridget Spencer, also on this story as well, so she's going to be speaking with her family. Now, I did have a chance to speak with her cousin, who really brought us up to speed about where they're at as a family right now when you learn about something like this. So I'm going to let you hear from her cousin and just a little bit more on the investigation from the Clayton County Police Department in terms of what they have right now and what they believe happened.
I remember having her all the time when she was a baby, playing in her hair.
It's small memories like this that Jasmine Walker is cherishing now more than ever before.
The last couple of months it's been hard. I've had sleepless nights, just up worrying, just thinking where's Briana?
Her cousin, 23-year-old Briana Winston, was last seen on March 16th, and now the Clayton County Police Department says they believe she was murdered by her boyfriend.
It was malice murder because it took some forethought.
Police say her boyfriend, Mikhail Edwards, planned to kill her and eventually carried out that plan. Investigators say on March 17th he went to Briana's apartment where the two began arguing because he married another woman in secrecy.
She had confronted him after learning about his infidelity to her. He choked her.
From there, police say Mikhail put her body in a suitcase, drove to a man's house in Tennessee, burned her body, Then the two men allegedly disposed of her remains on the highway and behind a church in a cemetery. Police say they weren't the only people who helped cover up her murder.
It turned into a family affair.
Police say McHale's wife gave him her car to drive to Tennessee. His mother and brother allegedly burned his shoes and a pair of gloves to conceal Briana's murder. All three are now facing charges, but Briana's family still feels helpless.
I've just been crying every night because I wasn't there to help her.
But now that she's been found and brought back home,
I wasn't going to sleep until she was found. And I'm not going to give up until justice is served.
they're not going to stop until justice is achieved for Briana. And if you were in that situation, you would feel the same, I would imagine. And that's what resonates with viewers who, if you've suffered the loss of someone in any way to a gruesome death like this, I mean, words just, you can barely even fathom the death alone, and then the details like that. I mean, it's crushing. So, you know, my prayers are with this family right now. I hope you extend your prayers to them as well. They're going through an unbelievably horrible experience with this. But we're going to keep an eye on Briana's case here at Atlanta News First. So stay with us with that, and we'll bring you into her vigil tonight at 6:30, 10, and 11. All right, the last story I have for you, not too many details on this, but this did come in, and I wanted to make sure that I took you to the scene of the latest information, things playing out in your community near you. So this is a scene of a stabbing. According to the Atlanta Police Department, a fatal stabbing took place outside of this apartment complex in Buckhead. Now, there's not too many other details in terms of the sex of the victim, the circumstances of what led up to this. When we hear about this stuff, we get out there as fast as possible to try to get as much information as possible, and of course to bring you the images on the ground. So we didn't get any interviews from witnesses, but we are keeping a close eye on this as well to try to see if any new details come out in terms of the identification of the victim or suspect. If we get any information that's new, we'll certainly share it with you right here on the First Alert Desk. So that's going to do it for me, guys, and hopefully you enjoy the rest of your weekend and you charge ahead through your Monday. We still have some great weather ahead. It's going to be warm this week. Our First Alert meteorologist will be on the First Alert Desk later on this evening at 8 p.m. So if you want to look at your weather and you really want that information, you can, of course, tune in at 8, and you can tune into our newscast at 6:30. And, of course, we are always available on our Atlanta News First app. You can always catch any updates. You can find our Atlanta News First weather app as well. That's the best. It always tells you when rain or thunderstorms or any lightning is in your area. So if you want to know what your week's looking like, use that. It's better than the weather app with your iPhone. So check that out. And if you have any information, this is a 24-hour operation. So give us a call, give us an email, and we are looking out for you. All right, well, thank you so much for joining me again on the First Alert Desk, and hopefully we see you on the other side at 6:30. Have a great night.